Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our second preseason game of the day for the Brunswick Freeport Dragons. They lost 9-2 in the first game to Falmouth, and they are here against Greely. Different first line of forwards. Coach Hagman told me in between games that he was looking to shake up the forward lines a little bit, just to try other stuff out. He knows that Dorsey, Palmer, and Bowditch can play well together, so we'll see if Dorsey can play well with Rathbone and Salco. I bet he can, but we'll see how they do. So Dorsey loses that opening draw, but Rathbone will get the puck back here for Sampson. Sampson looking up the ice a little too far. Jarrett Bush there for the Rangers. I have a decent amount of the Rangers players on this roster, folks, so I should be able to have a pretty good picture for who's playing for this team. So that's exciting. I do not have number 14, though. That must be a freshman. I wonder if that is Liam Murray, actually. Yeah, I think that's Murray. Here's a chance for Dorsey, however. Into the zone. He is hit hard by Bush. Dorsey looking around and looking down the middle for Salco. Salco got a skate on it, but nothing else. Here is Rathbone now into the offensive zone. He'll fire from the top of the circle. Save by Olsen. It is Beckett Olsen in the game, not our fan favorite at BHSN, Tucker Gadoo, who we've been calling games for the past 3 years here on BHSN. Of course, that first year was just on Facebook. But Gadoo, longtime favorite of mine calling games, but it will be Beckett Olsen in net for the Rangers this afternoon. Puck is caught by Bowditch. Bowditch gives it back to Wilson. Puck behind Olsen's net. He'll leave it off. And now kept in the zone by Foreign Black. I don't know if I have a four. Oh, it's Theo Lyons, of course. Theo Lyons, younger brother of Ivan Lyons, who was a senior on the inaugural season of Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey. Chance here for Greely. Shot save made by Colton Sampson, who joined the team in the past 2.5 hours. He was not there for the first game. That's why Ryan Livesey played the entire game against Falmouth and let in 9 goals. But Livesey played very, very well in the second half. Had a whole bunch of saves on a whole bunch of shots. And Colton Sampson will see what he can do. Shot here by Lambert is saved again by Sampson. Dragons will get a full change. Ingerson on defense. Face-off is won by Kittinger. Kittinger off the boards. Chance up ahead for Landry. Landry poking there at Max Allen of the Rangers. Kittinger fighting on the boards. And Rangers get it back. Allen across to Bush. Jarrett Bush into the neutral zone. He will knock it down around the boards. Bush on net save by Sampson. Here with 21 minutes and 40 seconds left in our first half. Of course, we are playing 2 running time 25-minute halves here in Falmouth. Landry will fire down the middle. He gave it up to Sam Ignacio, who hit the one-timer on net, but Olsen shuts that down. Ingerson racing after it in his defensive corner and gives it up to Landry. Landry along the back wall. Gives it up to Ignacio and now gets it back. Landry knocks it up the ice. I do believe it was deflected, but the official disagrees. That will be an icing. Here with 20 minutes and 55 seconds in the first half, still 0-0. This will be Leclerc to take the draw up against Donnelly for the Rangers. Donnelly will wall off Leclerc, and nice play there by the Rangers to get a quick shot, but it was wide. Down the middle is wide. I believe that was Liam Murray setting up that. I was just told that Murray was a freshman for the Rangers, and I'm looking at a roster from last season, so it's obviously not going to have this year's freshman. So I'm just going to assume that's Liam Murray because a couple of the guys on Brunswick knew him. So if we know that's a freshman out there, 14 in white, and I only know one of the freshmen, I'm just going to guess that it's Murray. So now, of the one other person who's watching this other than my computer in front, I hope it is Ethan Patterson is the one other viewer. If not, if that one other viewer happens to be Liam Murray's parents, if you would like to let me know that it's not Liam Murray, please do so. Dorsey racing after it, and the Dragons have numbers. Dorsey will fire it over the net. Rathbone looking for the rebound, fighting with Murray. Rathbone gets it back now with space into the zone. He will fire it on net, saved by the leg pad of Olsen. Dorsey gets the rebound on the back wall down the middle for Salko. Salko will settle, will backhand it towards the net, hit off the post, and it won't go. James Salko with a great opportunity, but no goal. Could hear that one ring off the pipe. Salko able to beat Olsen, but could not beat the iron. Offensive zone face-off. This is Jamison Palmer, and he'll win it for the moment against Newman. Bowditch hit into the boards. He'll get it back now here in the neutral zone. Bowditch up to Palmer. Palmer looks for Copeland in the middle. Copeland gets laid out by Jared Bush. Bush, I remember last year, talk about, he's only a sophomore, so very, big hit there by Palmer sends two Rangers falling over each other. How about that? Palmer gets knocked down again in front of his own net. Sampson not too happy about that. That was off screen though. Copeland down the middle, one-timer look for Sampson. Could not get it on net. Sampson still on the ice. Big hit there by Bush. Bush once again. I was trying to say this. Bush gave Jamison Palmer a concussion last year off a very big open ice hit. And I can't remember if he was given a game misconduct for it. I don't believe he was, but very big hit there. Jared Bush, very physical player, and he shows it early on. Big hits on Sampson and Carter Copeland, a freshman. So definitely look out for 6 in white. Really very notorious for being a very physical team. They're from Cumberland, Maine. That's another freshman there, 10 in white, that I do not have on my roster. And he will ice the puck. And the Dragons will get an offensive zone faceoff. This will be Kittinger with Landry to his right and Anasio to his left. Here's a shot towards the net, save by Olsen. Keep forgetting who 4 in black is, folks. Oh, Theo Lyons. Okay, that's Theo Lyons is 4. You see, I don't really want to memorize their numbers here because these practice jersey numbers are different than their in-season numbers. But Lyons will get another opportunity. That one off the post. I don't really want to memorize them because I'm going to have to forget all those numbers again to learn the actual numbers, if you understand what I'm saying here. That is Noah Barrel into the zone. 22 in white. He'll give it up for Greely. Brunswick gets the puck back. Anasio back in the Dragons' defensive zone, and Colton Sampson will freeze it. Dragons, of course, if you did not watch that first game, they are missing a whole bunch of guys. Michael Shoemaker fallen ill, so that's why Colton Sampson and Ryan Livesey playing goalie today. Dragons also missing 3 of their 5 best defensemen. Of course, Captain Ethan Patterson, as well as Ned Boak and Levi Bobuff. Ethan Patterson currently in an airport in Wisconsin, was meant to come home for these last 2 games, but a snowstorm said otherwise. Jarrett Bush into the zone with numbers, and that'll be an offside. Colton Sampson will scoop, and we'll get a neutral zone faceoff with the Dragons' 4th line of forwards. This will be Leclerc, and we'll see who Greely sends out for it. It'll be 16 in white, Coben, Donnelly. Puck drop won by Donnelly. Right back here with Allen. Allen off the boards. It'll be knocked down. Angerson gives it up to Wilmot. Cameron now. Leclerc fighting for it once again. Now back to Angerson. Taken away by Bush. Bush will fire it off of Sampson's shoulder. Still battling behind the net. Puck is still alive. Leclerc comes away with it with a bit of space. Pokes at it now. And chance here. Greely trying to round the net. Giving up open is Allen. Allen with space will fire it. Saved by Sampson. And the Dragons will send back on that slightly different first line of forwards. Coach Hageman just trying to shake it up a little bit. Have Evan Dorsey play with someone else other than Jameson Palmer and Cole Bowditch, who he's played with pretty much every game in his high school career, at least. Yeah, he really only played varsity last year when Cole. A big hit there by 17 in white. That is Connor Murphy. Murphy knocked down, I believe that was Wilson. Chance with Rathbone with speed into the zone. Save, and Olsen will hop onto it. That was Shoemaker, actually. Nathaniel Shoemaker, the freshman, who got lit up by Connor Murphy. Good to see Shoemaker's okay. And Dorsey will take this face-off. And wins it. Back here, pass across looking for Shoemaker. 10 in black. That's Cameron. That is the 2 Camerons on this team. No relation. Chance here, 2-on-0 for Greely. Pass down the middle, and that one saved by Sampson. It was Jack Noon with the backhand, and Sampson went pipe to pipe and stopped it. And now we'll see the second line of forwards. That switch by Coach Hageman was to put the freshman Carter Copeland onto the second line with Bowditch and Palmer, and then Dorsey onto the first line. So that creates a pretty stark difference in size, I would say. 3 definitely smaller guys, Bowditch, Palmer, and Copeland. All underclassmen as well. That'll be an icing. Still 0-0 here. 12 minutes and 20 seconds left in our running time first period. First half, I should say. Shot by Greely is broken up. Shot from the blue line, save made by Sampson. Rebound collected by the Dragons. Copeland and Bowditch putting pressure on the puck. Greely able to lay it up the ice, and a chance here for Moons. These 2 teams, of course, play again in 6 days. Friday, December 5th. Big hit there by Palmer as he puts Jason Parent on the ice. Allen up ice. It's deflected. And collecting there is Sam Jansen. Battle along the boards. Copeland looks to steal it away, and he does to himself. Carter Copeland into the zone as Allen in front of him. He'll be hit by Allen, but Bowditch gets it back now. Bowditch into the zone, will flip it and score! Cole Bowditch, a backhand top shelf goal, and the Dragons have a 1-0 lead. I believe you can credit Carter Copeland with the assist there. I'll have to look at the video to see about that. Yeah, that will be assisted by 38 in black Carter Copeland. So Dragons strike first. Beautiful backhand.
Brunswick Freeport scored by number 16, Cole Bowditch, unassisted at 13:57.
Yeah, the announcer here called it unassisted, but I would definitely give that to Carter Copeland. 1-0 Dragons. Barrel knocks it around the back wall. Poking at it there is Kittinger. Wilson fed across to Lyons. Landry fell there. Turnover, chance for Greely. Knocked away, collected by Barrel. Just below the blue line. He'll fire. It's deflected off the skate of Kittinger. Barrel gets it back. Hit by Landry. Barrel into the zone now, fed out in front and turned back over to the Dragons. Adams will get it back. Barrel again, top of the circle. Save by the leg pad of Sampson. Now, we have a couple guys falling over each other along the boards. That's Donnelly for the Rangers. And it was Theo Lyons who fell over Donnelly. He'll be frozen by Sampson here with 9 minutes left in our first half. 1-0 Dragons off of Bowditch's goal. Face off here, Leclerc up against Noon. Wilmot fighting as well. Rangers get the puck back, fed out in front, saved by Sampson, still alive along the crease. Dragons try to break out off the glass. And along the boards down the middle, wide. Ingerson racing for it. And it'll hit Murphy into the boards. Nice move by Bush, has it chopped at. And here's a shot and a goal. Jack Noon will tie it at 1. Jack Noon able to put it past Sampson. Shoemaker to get up here to Salco. Salco deflected off of a Ranger skate. Good pressure by Dorsey, and now it is stopped and frozen by Beckett Olson. They credit Coben Donnelly with the assist there. Dorsey to take this draw. Tied up. Rathbone for Salco in the middle. Salco couldn't put it on net. Nice move here. Dorsey will put a shoulder to Barrel. Barrel now fighting with him. And the Rangers will clear. O'Connor into the zone, a 2-on-1. O'Connor will look to fire. Pass was wide. A great look by Calvin O'Connor. But Jason Parent could not put it away on the 2-on-1 there, gloved by Sampson. A rocket from 10 in white, who we do not know. 10 in white last season was Ezra McDuffie, in case that information matters to you. Palmer will win that face-off. Sampson now back to Palmer, looking up ice off the skate of Copeland. Now Bowditch into the zone. Bowditch with a goal. Nice move. Bowditch will give it up for himself. Tries to get around Bush. Puts it almost on net, but it was blocked by Allen. Sampson cannot keep it in the zone. And now banks it down. Dragons have to avoid the offside. And now, nice move for Allen is shut down by Palmer. Bowditch into the neutral zone. That one is knocked into the corner. Sampson recollects the puck. Deflected by Bodich. Here comes Palmer putting pressure on Bush. And Palmer gets it back now. The Bush takes it away once again. Murray. Sampson takes away from Brunswick. Into the slot he goes. Sampson, nice move, will fire and score! Avery Sampson makes it 2-1 Dragons. I do not know the last time I saw Avery Sampson score a goal. I'm going to check the stats from last year for a moment. Of course, it is just me, so. Beautiful move. I'm not sure if he scored a goal last year, guys. Oh, I didn't. Where are the season stats from last year? Oh, I got it. It's right here.
Brunswick Freeport goal scored by number 22, Avery Sampson.
Hold on.
Unassisted, 1948 first.
Avery Sampson did not score a goal the entirety of last season, but now has one here in the preseason. Shot, score! Oh, what a shot by the unknown Tenon White. Hits the crossbar and down, and it is 2-2.
Greely goal scored by number 10, Jason Levesque.
I had to go back to the year before that as well, the 2023-2024 season, just to make sure that Avery Sampson had not scored that year either. So I can confirm that right there was Avery Sampson's first career goal as a member of Brunswick Freeport boys ice hockey. And what a goal it was for 22 in black. Shot here off the blockers of Sampson. Barrel gets it back. He's hit into the boards by Landry. Clearing it there was Inacio. Really will settle. And a tripping call. Let's see who they get. I think it's going to be against Greely. It will be on Murphy, sorry. Connor Murphy to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. And we'll get a second look at the Dragons' power play on the day. Of course, it's not a good representation because the Dragons' best power play player is their captain defenseman, Ethan Patterson, who is, once again, at an airport in Wisconsin. So, we'll see what Avery Sampson can do. But Avery Sampson has now scored a goal, so he can do anything. Dorsey wins the faceoff. Now here is Sampson, top of the circle. He'll fire. Shot is blocked.
Early penalty on number 17, Connor Murphy. 2 minutes for tripping at 22:15 first.
That's Aiden Schofield, the other defenseman opposite Sampson. Schofield looking to get it to Salco. And across for Dorsey. Nice pass. Dorsey cuts back. Has space. Dorsey, nice move. Gives it up. Here's a one-timer for Rathbone. Is blocked. 90 seconds left in that power play for the Dragons. 2 minutes left in the first half, and we are tied at 2. Schofield lofts it across. Dorsey, nice catch. Into the zone he goes. He'll rifle it across looking for Rathbone. Sampson keeps it in the zone, at least for the moment, could not now. And to avoid the offside. Really will get it back. 1 minute left in that tripping minor. Sampson up to Dorsey. Dorsey into the zone. Has space. Will leave it off for Palmer and really takes it away. Dorsey fires across. Pass is caught by Bodich. Bodich into the zone he goes. He'll make a nice move around Bush. Bodich makes 2. Really, defenders miss. But turns the puck over at the end. Now 20 seconds left in the Dragons' power play. 1 minute left in the half. Bowditch, one-touch pass up to Palmer. Palmer has space into the offensive zone. Looks to get around the Ranger defender. Now he'll spin. 3 seconds left in the power play. Oh. Whiffing on that was Wilson. And we're back to 5-on-5 play. Dragons 0 for 2 on the afternoon in the power play. They had one chance against that Falmouth team. And here's a shot gloved by Sampson off of Jack Noon's shot. Clock's running now with 20 seconds left in the first half. Noon to take the draw. Up against, I think that's Kinninger. Right. He does not have a number on the front of his jersey, so. Yeah, that's Kinninger. Okay. Noon looking across. That one's deflected up ahead by Anasio, but that'll do it for our first half of action. Tied up at 2. It was Jack Noon and number 10 who scored for Greely, and it was Cole Bowditch who scored, assisted by Carter Copeland, and then an assisted goal. Great individual effort by Avery Sampson, who had the other goal for Brunswick, and that is how we are tied at 2 here. As we enter our second half, each half 25-second running time. I have not received any texts from Ethan Patterson this game, even though I'm sure that he's watching. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe that means he got on a plane and he doesn't have Wi-Fi on the plane. But I was really expecting to see more thoughts from him. I would love to know what he thinks about Avery Sampson scoring his first goal ever in Brunswick Freeport hockey. Tied at 2 here. 25 minutes of action. The Dragons now are halfway done with their day of hockey here. After this, one more game at 6:10, so back-to-back against Scarborough. And then once that game is over, about 20 minutes will go by, and then Kaz Kaczynski and Oscar Gartside will be on the call for Brunswick girls hockey up against Penobscot. Penobscot comprised of, let's see, Brewer, Bangor, Hampton Academy, John Baptist, Old Town, and Orono. There you go. 6 schools against 1 Brunswick school for the girls hockey team there. Seems kind of unfair, 6 schools against 1, but we'll see how Brunswick can do in that game. I might make an appearance there if you're like, no, I won't watch it. I will not watch Kaz call a game on his own. I'll only watch Robert call a game. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. But I'll probably be there in about the second period, so there's that. But guys, I promise, Kaz is great, okay? Just watch him. And it should be a great game, too. The girls hockey, their 2 games this season have both gone to overtime. An overtime loss to Yarmouth Freeport, and we called that game here on BHSN, so I'm sure you knew that. You might not have known that on Wednesday this week they had a 5-4 overtime win against Gorham. So 2 overtime games for them, so you better watch that on BHSN. You'll probably see an overtime game. Odds are, I think the odds would be 100% of an overtime game right now. I believe that is how statistics works, but I'm not quite sure. Here's a shot save made by Beckett Olsen. That shot was by Theo Lyons. I keep forgetting 4 is Theo. I'm sorry. Sorry to the Lyons family. I'm sure Ivan Lyons is watching from whether he's at college or wherever he's at. Saved there by, I don't know what Ivan Lyons is up to these days. Hope you're doing well, Ivan. I remember him being an underrated defender for that 2023, 2024 Wickport inaugural season. I thought he was pretty good, at least as a pure defender. I don't think he did too much on the offensive side of things, but good defender, physical player. So Theo Lyons, number 4 in black, his younger brother. Puck drop here tied up, and the Rangers get it back. Here's a shot, is blocked by Wilmot. Cameron fighting, puck back now with Wilson. Here, that pass was intercepted by Leclerc. Rangers get it back though. Noah Barrel will spin. 23 minutes left in our first half. Sorry, our second half. And total on the day, this is our fourth half. After this, we will have 2 more halves of hockey as the Dragons will take on Scarborough. Scarborough, in their other 2 games, they beat this Greely team 4-3. However, I was told that Greely, or Scarborough, is playing their JV players against Greely, and they won 4-3. So there's that. Against Falmouth, they tied 4-4, and we lost to Falmouth 9-2. In case you were not there for that. That one's kept into the zone for the moment. Dragons have to avoid the offsides, and they will clear and get a change. Salco coming back on along with Copeland and Rathbone. So back to that first game lines. That's very interesting. Copeland, Salco, and Rathbone were together in the first game, but then Dorsey came in there to shake things up, and maybe Coach Hagman was like, okay, that was a cool experiment. Let's get back to our bread and butter. Rathbone into the zone as Salco trailing. Rathbone whiffs on it. Puck's behind the net now. Rathbone fighting. Copeland gets it back. Copeland down the middle. Salco could not get his blade on it. Salco will bump O'Connor into the boards, and now he takes it himself. Salco with space will fire, save Payne by Beckett Olson. Here's a shot by Copeland. It's wide.
There you go. Nice job, Noah.
Salco knocks it back. Schofield skating after it. Salco will catch, hit it off the glass. Ingerson skating after it.
Come on, Nuna,
He'll
get another one.
Give it up to Copeland. Now it's Jarrett Bush, D to D to Allen. Allen into the zone. He'll fire off the shoulder of Sampson. Nunu will collect and has it stolen away by the other number 11, Matt Rathbone. Rathbone off the boards. Allen missed on that one, but Bush able to collect. Tries to toe drag and not. Salco collects behind Sampson's net. Interesting, that is not Ryan Livesey in that. So I guess they're having Livesey played the entire game. Sampson just joined. Oh, here's a chance here for Copeland. A 2-on-1 for the Dragons. Salco's open in the middle. Can Copeland get it to him? He will look. Now fire to Salco. Salco off his skate and wide. Still no word from Ethan Patterson during this game, so I hope that means that he has found his way onto an airplane and is on his way home. That would be nice. We need you, Ethan. Of course, this game the Dragons are playing pretty well without him. It's tied here at 2, but they will have Ethan for when they play Greely on Friday of next week, which is so fascinating, playing an exhibition game against a team and then a real game 6 days later. I believe a similar thing happened last year. They played Greely in the first game as well. Here's a Dorsey open, will fire, save made by Olsen. Bowditch with a nice pass. That's why I understand trying to get the new lines in, coach, but we know, I mean, that was his whole point. That was his whole point, was that he knows that Dorsey, Bowditch, and Palmer play so well together, so just see how the other combinations work out. But having them play together is the best. They've been playing together a ton over the offseason as well. Played together almost the whole year last year. It's a great combination. I remember Gabe Shoemaker played a lot with Palmer and Bowditch as well. That was a line. But Dorsey played a good amount with him as well. Fed up here to Palmer. Palmer down the middle backhand. Couldn't get it to Bowditch. 18:15 to go in the second half. 2-2 is our score. Palmer gives up to Bowditch. Bowditch, nice move. Down the middle from Palmer, will fire just wide. Taken, Dorsey looks to wrap around. Now he'll flip it, saved by Olsen. Palmer is lying on the ice. You gotta hope that he's okay. The Dragons really cannot afford any casualties. Last year they lost 2 players in this icebreaker. 2 first-line forwards of Max Stanicki and Nolan Klimash both got injured in these scrimmages. You gotta hope that Jameson Palmer is going to be okay. He, of course, got injured against Greely last year when Jarrett Bush gave him a concussion. Face-off here between Craven, and it was won from him by Kittinger. Shoemaker has it intercepted. Into the slot now go the Rangers. Shoemaker is able to steal it away from Parent and give it up to Landry. Landry fighting with Craven. Craven down the middle. Nobody home for Greely. Jared Bush pressured by Landry. Chance here now by Craven. Craven will cut inside. Puck alive out front is scooped by the Dragons. It's Landry. He'll fire, save, and hopped on by Olsen. Dragons will send on that 4th line of forwards, all freshmen, Cameron, Leclerc, and Wilmot. 16 minutes left in our second half, and we're tied at 2. Leclerc wins it, and here's a shot just wide of the net. Oh, great pass up ahead here for Lambert. Lambert will curl, look to fire, and has it stolen away. Here's a shot, will bounce in front of Sampson. That one off the post, and that one will wind up in the back of the net. Greely takes a 3-2 lead off the rebound. Sampson out of position, and they've taken the lead back. Second consecutive goal for the Rangers.
Good job, boys!
Leclerc to take this draw up against Noon.
Here we go.
Noon into the zone.
Connor Murphy, unassisted, 9:21 in the second.
Barrel gets around Ingerson. He'll look to wrap around, jam it into that pipe. Could not. Puck winds up back in the corner. Noon gives it up to Lambert. Lambert will whiff on that shot. Barrel behind the net. Feeds down the middle. Nice save by Sampson. Wow. But here's another shot score by Mitchell Lambert. Sampson made the initial stop, but the puck wound up back open in the slot to Lambert. And just like that, it is 4-2 Rangers. They've scored 2 goals about a minute apart from one another. Dragons get back on that first line of forwards, as well as Sampson. And is that Schofield right now? See,
Here we go. Scored by number 3, Mitchell Lambert.
it's Ignacio. Ignacio's been playing a lot of forward as well, so that's why it's kind of confusing. Ignacio and Sampson are that first defensive pairing. Sampson stopped that one from getting to from Sampson. Oh, that's his brother, of course. Sampson and Sampson. Salko with speed into the zone. He has Copeland up in the middle. Copeland will fire, gloved by Olsen. A great look by James Salko. Copeland with the one-timer. but a nice glove by Beckett Olson. I've seen some very nice chemistry so far between Salco and Copeland. They've each given one of those cross-crease passes to one another to set up shots in those 2-on-1 situations. So I think I do like this forward group of Salco, Rathbone, and Copeland. They seem to be playing well together. I'd have to imagine that this is that first forward line. Of course, it's a 1A and a 1B situation. Dorsey and Palmer and Bowditch can't really be considered a second line. Here's a huge hit along the boards by Max Allen. Oh my goodness. I believe that was on Sam Inacio. Oh my goodness. Okay. Just a monstrous hit along the boards by Max Allen, the senior. Number 9 in white. Is he going to be penalized for that? Let's get a replay here. I'll give my Robert Bowen maliciousness between the maliciousness, apathy, and competence meter. Okay, let's see. I've got the replay up on my MacBook right now. It does appear that Max Allen just pretty much jumps into the air and hits his shoulder up against the head of Inacio. Yeah, that's a pretty malicious play, I would say, right into the boards as well. Yeah, I would probably eject Allen for that. You know, that's just me. Now, does that mean that he can't play against Brunswick? That would be pretty crazy. If he gets ejected from this, could he be held out? I think that actually happened to a Greely player last year, if I'm correct. Could somebody fact check that for me? I swear that happened. Beware. Yeah, last year a Greely player got ejected in this scrimmage and couldn't play against Brunswick in the first game. And I wonder if we're going to get that same thing happen to Max Allen here. That's crazy. And just like last season, the Dragons have 2 injuries in their preseason. Yes. Oh, it is a misconduct because the Rangers. If we pan our camera here, folks, as you can see, the Rangers have 2 guys in the box. That indicates that we have a misconduct penalty. That means that one of the players is serving for a long. Yep, we have a 5-minute major. Oh, and it will be Max Allen skating off the ice. So that'll be a game misconduct on Max Allen, and he will not be able to play against the Dragons next week. How about that? It'll be a 5-minute major as Allen will go into the locker room. I do have to imagine that he'll be, that's the rule. That has to be the rule. If you're ejected here, you can't play. I think that looks like the locker room is locked. So Allen gets tossed a key by his coach. Let's see. Sorry, beware. Allen, he'll take off his glove. He's asking someone else to use the key. He's looking. He's yet to put the key into the door. Okay, now he is. Key is inserted. It doesn't look like it's working. I don't know what Allen's doing here. I'll keep you updated, folks. Allen still looking to turn the key. Oh, now he's twisting it. And Max Allen still can't get the locker room open. But a major penalty here for the Dragons power play to see what they can do. Here's a shot blocked. Dragons 0 for 2 on the power play today. But that is just amazing. 2 years in a row, Greely gets a player ejected. I can't remember if it was ejected. I remember that Rylan Height got injured against. No, was he ejected? I think he was ejected, beware. Yeah, okay. 2 years in a row that happens to Greely. If I had a nickel for every time a Greely player got ejected in the preseason game against Brunswick and then couldn't play the next game, which also was against Brunswick, I would only have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice. So, Max Allen, you will not be seeing him on Friday. And we just hope that Sam Inacio is okay. I see him getting looked at by athletic trainer Krista Henley. That one is stopped by Olson. Face-off won by the Dragons and now cleared by the Rangers. "11 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half, and 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in Max Allen's major penalty. He, of course, is ejected with the game misconduct, but a Greely player is serving that 5-minute major and will be released in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Into the zone, and that will be an offside. You know, you have to expect this when these two teams play each other, Greely and Brunswick. It really seems to be one-sided most of the time, I will say, in terms of Jarrett Bush gave Palmer a concussion last season. Was it Max or Nolan who was injured against Greely in the preseason game last year? I feel like it was Nolan, and then Max was hurt against Falmouth, but it could be the other way around. And then somebody gave Rylan Height a concussion last season, I think. Someone from Brunswick did. He was a top player for Greely, a senior. So, you know, I guess it goes both ways. Dorsey with a rocket over the net, but it seems mostly to be Greely players injuring the Dragons, I must say. So you can add Ignacio to that list. It does appear that Palmer's okay. Palmer was slow to get up a minute ago. Here's a rocket by Palmer, and it's gloved by Olsen. Dorsey to take this draw. It is won there by Noon. That one is cleared up the ice by Jarrett Bush. And it will be collected by Sampson. Here with a minute and 48 seconds left in the Dragon power play. That one off the back wall is collected by Dorsey. Dorsey gives it up and captain the zone. Dorsey with another chance from the slot, well fire, saved by Olsen. Rebound also wouldn't go. Dorsey gets it back though, waiting, fires across. Bowditch now behind the net, gives it back to Dorsey. Dorsey will wait again, gives it to Bowditch. Bowditch will try to jam it in that pipe, no. And taken away by Noon. Dragons now have a minute and 15 left in that major penalty. Haven't done much thus far. Up ice here for Bowditch. Bowditch into the zone. Fires across. Dorsey, nice move. Will look to fire and score. Evan Dorsey scores his second goal of the afternoon off a beautiful pass by Cole Bowditch with his second point of the day. Of this game, I should say. How about that? And it is 4-3 with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second half. Dorsey from Bowditch. Four to 3 now. And they get their first power play goal of the day off of that 5-minute major. Chance here with Landry. He'll spin back. Jansen towards the net. That one's deflected. A chance down the middle. Still alive. It was Kittinger with the chance. Kittinger now in front of the net, fighting for it. Still fighting. It'll be cleared, stopped by Sampson. Sam Jansen filling in there for Ignacio, who is injured by Max Allen. Chance now here for Jason Parent. One-on-one with Sampson. Parent, nice move, but Sampson shuts it down. But rebound is frozen by Colton Sampson. Of course, the younger brother of Avery Sampson. First-year coach Matt Westcott calls Avery Sampson to the bench. Oh, it does appear that Max Allen has taken off his gear, and he will not need that gear for another week or so, since he will not be playing against Brunswick on December 5th for their first regular season game. And we have a hand pass called by the official. Who it was against or why, or did I see it? The answer to that question is all no. But I do know the signal, and that's a hand pass. And it looks like it'll be a offensive zone faceoff for the Dragons. Yeah, so if it's an offensive zone hand pass, then that would be against Greely. So it'll be a faceoff in the Dragons' offensive zone. Leclerc will win the draw, and Noon gets the puck back. Cameron puts that one wide left of the net. Leclerc with speed. The official hops over the net. Sorry, the puck. Hops over the net. That would be impressive. Noon with space. He'll fire. Leg pad save by Sampson. Leclerc lost his stick. He'll skate over to get it. Now he picks it up. Bush poked at. I do keep forgetting who 33 is. Oh, that's Schofield, of course. Aiden Schofield. Who would forget? 5 minutes and 20 seconds left in this second half of the Dragons' second of 3 preseason games. Ingerson poking at Lambert. Lambert, who has a goal today. This game is a 4-3 lead for Greely. Dragons try to get a change. Fire, leg pad save by Sampson, right back in the stick of Murphy. Pass, shot, redirected, and wide of the net. Ingerson will knock Ranger into the boards. Chance here for Bush with space. Bush will round the net, and it will be frozen by Sampson, and Bush's stick went flying. The linesman having some words to Colton Sampson, probably relating to the Jarrett Bush stick incident from 5 seconds earlier. Probably saying, hey, maybe don't knock his stick over or give him a little tap on the shin. If you could not do that, please. Probably how that conversation went. Nat Rathbone on that faceoff. Rathbone gives it up to Copeland. I really do like those lines of Salco, Copeland, Rathbone, and then Dorsey, Bowditch, and Palmer. I think those are some good pairings. I have to imagine Coach Hagan will keep those guys together for next week. Now, as for the third line, I think it really will be those two lines pretty even, then a third line every now and then. It's probably how Coach Hagan will do it. Usually he does like to run 3 lines, but still, those top 2 playing the more than the third for sure. And on that third line, Nicky Heaston missed today. I have to imagine he'll be involved in that third line next week when he returns. Shot there is by Salco and stopped by Olsen. Here is that aforementioned second line, who has scored twice this game. Bowditch, Dorsey, and Palmer. Sampson, Bowditch. Into the corner, Dorsey fighting. Shot by Jansen down the middle for Palmer. Gives up to Bowditch, will one-time it off the outside of the net. Bush will loft it off the glass. That puck wounds up back next to Olsen. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the second half. That puck went into the bench, into the ceiling, into the rafters. I don't know. Oh, it went into, I don't know where it went. But they'll get another puck. And it will be dropped in the neutral zone. Dorsey fighting for it. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left now. 4-3 lead for the Rangers. Murphy turned over. Noah Barrel taken away by Lambert. Lambert into the zone. He falls. And he's knocked onto his back by Evan Dorsey. A beautiful hit. Here's a nice pass up to Dorsey. And here's Bowditch with space. Will spin. Bowditch will knock it down the middle. Avery Sampson will collect in the neutral zone. Fire it on net, and that one nearly went in for Avery Sampson. Oh my goodness, hit off the chest of Beckett Olson and landed right along the goal line. That would have been Sampson's second, and the Dragons hold the goalie and give up the goal immediately.
Good job, Greely!
Empty net goal, and it's 5-3. Sampson nearly scored that. Oh my goodness. He had never scored a goal in his life for Brunswick Freeport until this afternoon when he scored the opener for the Dragons. And then that rocket hit off the chest of Olsen and nearly went in the back of the net.
Greely goes, scored by number 10, Chase Levesque, unassisted on the empty net. Levesque at 23:45 in the second.
Chance here for Greely. Looked at there by Schofield. Here's a shot, save Sampson. 5-3 lead for Greely. There's a diving block by Kittinger. Just 20 seconds left now in this one. That one is backhanded into the stands. No one was there. Dangerous game here, hockey. There is no net along this side of the boards. That'll do it. 5-3 win for Greely. The Dragons fall to 0-2 in their first two preseason games, and it does not get any easier. In fact, it will get much harder against Scarborough in the third game. The start time they say for that game is 6:10, which is in 3 minutes, but I think that's impossible. So we'll get a Zamboni. And you might be saying, oh, you could just leave the stream running. But we're not going to, because we just want to separate the film by game so that these Brunswick guys can see exactly where to look for each game's film. As for this game, there's a lot of good stuff to look for. 3 goals there, 2 by Evan Dorsey and 1 by Avery Sampson. 5-3 win for Greely will end this stream. I feel like the Zamboni will take 10 minutes and then we'll start it up again as the Dragons will face Scarborough. So thank you for joining us here, folks. We'll see you awfully soon.